terror threat by al-Qaeda, though with a specified timetable. That's just a day after it announced it's about to temporarily shut 21 of its embassies in the region this weekend, with the UK and Germany closing their missions in Yemen. The menace comes from the very groups fighting on the side of the rebels in Syria, backed by the West. Author and historian Gerald Horne finds it ironic.
I think that what this alert basically reflects is the fact that the United States policy in that part of the world has backfired. For example, in Syria, the United States has basically encouraged, if not supported, a war against the Damascus-based regime of al-Assad. This has involved a number of U.S. nationals and European nationals going into Syria to fight with the so-called jihadists. This has given a shot in the arm to al-Qaeda-backed forces, such as the al-Nusra front in Syria, which is tied to al-Qaeda in Iraq, which in the last month has been engaged in a spate of car bombings in Baghdad and the surrounding region. So it seems to me the State Department alert basically reflects a failure of U.S. policy.
And the backlash from the insurgent groups linked to al-Qaeda has also affected smaller communities in the region. Around 200 Kurdish civilians were taken hostage in Syria following clashes with jihadists shortly after one of the Kurd leaders was assassinated. RT's Irina Galushka has got the story.
Considering the complexity of Syria, you have to understand that there are dozens of groups of people who are divided by either faith or nationality or ethnicity. All of them are also involved in this bitter battle which has been going on in the country for the last couple of years. Kurds are among the biggest ethnic groups. Kurds are actually the largest nation in the world that does not have a state. The dream of statehood is something that Kurds have entertained for hundreds of years. They are originating in Iraq, Turkey, and in Syria. Now, increasingly, Kurds in Syria are coming under extreme pressure from the radical groups which have permeated Syria and are affiliated with al-Qaeda. Recently, severe clashes have broken out in several villages on the border between Syria and Turkey, primarily in the northern Aleppo province. Several hundred Kurds have been taken hostage by fighters of al-Nusra front, and there also have been videos posted on the internet which claim to be pictures of Kurds who have come under attack from the al-Qaeda affiliated extremists. Truly horrific pictures. Now, the Kurdish militia has called on Kurds in the region to unite in their struggle against the radical Islamists affiliated with al-Qaeda. The al-Qaeda forces are also dreaming of their own state, and it's none other than Syria that they're planning to initiate their state at. In fact, they're saying they're going to get right to it immediately after Ramadan ends, and that is just in a week's time. So the situation in that region is incredibly harsh and literally boiling at this point, as we're having again hundreds of people abducted from their homes. We're also hearing about people being killed just for the simple reason that they're Kurds, and really it doesn't seem like anybody is especially paying attention, primarily the Western media. There is very little information on the subject if you try to look for it.
Dr. Alan Semo is a representative of the Foreign Affairs and Relations Office of the Kurdish Democratic Union Party in Syria, and he thinks militants are now resorting to brutal tactics through desperation.
It will be further kidnappings as these terrorist groups are losing in and they cannot resist the defend of the Kurdish forces, because the Kurdish forces on the ground, they're protecting themselves, they are not attacking anybody, and all the Kurdish people now are supporting them and they're defending themselves, and this group are failing and they're running away from their attacks, and therefore they using this as a method to kidnap and host people hostilely, and in the end of the day they will exchange. This is their technique to exchange.